You know, you have to do this about probably every 5 years. And what I'm getting ready to talk about is serious business. I know it's going to sound crazy, but you almost have to do it every 5 years and maybe every 3 years. And at the most 10 years. If you don't do it you've got to do it at least every 10 years, because if you don't do it every 10 years, God's going to do it for you. It's almost like you have to burn it all down, change your whole worldview. And if you don't do it, God will do it. And it's almost recent, like he just burned it all down. I mean, there were people I talked to every day that are gone. I mean, there's like 5 people I would talk to every day. They're gone. And I'm not talking about by text or by phone. I'm talking about in person. 5 people that I would talk to every day, they're gone. And I don't mean they're dead. They just passed off of my holographic reality. And so when God is doing a renovation to get you to move to your next identity, and one way you do it is you fast and pray, right? If you ask God to show you something. See, we don't even know the next level. God has to show it to us, right? And if God shows us the next level where we're going, he has to remove some old junk, you know? Because you don't want to keep repeating the same stupid patterns, you know? And so he burns it all down. And if you go along with him, you burn it all down too. You just do a change up like you ain't never seen. Change your patterns, change your routine, change your everything. If you have to, change your job. Let me get a OJ.
Just an orange juice?
Yeah.
All right.
Burn it all down. And if you don't do it, God's going to do it. Eventually, it's gonna. You have to have change. It's just the way life is. I figured out what was going on yesterday.
What?
My salt and sugar was low because I had the previous day I was riding the bike, sweating like crazy, working around the house. So I lost a lot of sodium.
You better take care of that.
Yeah, I know. I did.
Crazy.
All right. So don't get stagnated, don't get stuck, and don't stay in one little groove. The people I see that I've watched in my life, they stay in one groove. They end up just like depressed, sad, no vision, no hope, you know. And it's like, you got to have it. Without a vision, the people perish. And yeah, I know some health issues can get in the way, but you just figure it out. You have to start studying health stuff. I promise you, the free speech about health is on Instagram. I know people don't like Instagram, and I don't either, but the free speech about health stuff is on Instagram. You're going to find out secrets I'll give you an example. Why did nobody ever tell you about magnesium? They can talk about this on YouTube, but why did nobody ever tell you about magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate? Why didn't they tell you about all the different magnesiums? There's like 4 magnesiums that will help you. Why didn't they tell you? It'll change your life. I promise. You'll feel 20 years younger. I almost respect this lady here. She's a homeless lady, right? This lady here, she's been here for 11 years at least. I've seen her here for 10, 11 years. And the reason I respect her, because the guy that she hangs out with, she is loyal to that man. And he's loyal to her. She will not, like if you see some different homeless people come up, she will not leave that man. He's older than her. He's like 10 years older, it looks like. Maybe 15, but she's low. They are like, they lived over here on this hill right here for about 2 or 3 years till the city shut them down. Hold on one second. And when I say respect, I'm talking about the loyalty part. They're healthy enough to go get a job. They need to go get a job, I admit. But the fact that she's been loyal to that guy for 10 years, and you see some other guys come up here, and you see them trying to talk, get in. They don't let anybody into that relationship at all. She is pure loyal to that dude. Come on, people. I mean, come on. We had the right of way, and they just followed like a little sheep going to the slaughter. Anyway, back to what I was saying. A lot of times God will shake up your world because he will, if you're in one place too long, here's what I noticed. If you're in one place too long, the enemy will study you, right? They'll see your strengths and your weaknesses, and especially if you're online. I promise you this has happened. The enemy will study you like a hawk. Now, they never work together. They're all trying to scheme and scam to steal, kill, and destroy, and trying to mess with your mind and all that, because they hate the gospel, they hate Jesus, they hate the truth. So if you're talking about Jesus and being free, they're not free. They're slaves to the devil, because they're actually like Pharaoh. Pharaoh thought he was free, but he wasn't. You know why Pharaoh, the Egyptian Pharaoh, was not free? It looks like he had all them slaves working for him, right? But he had to live in fear that what happens when all them slaves start to rebel? What's he going to do then? And so they live in fear. They're doing evil. And anybody who's doing evil, they're going to be living in fear. Somebody's going to catch me. Somebody's going to do that. I'm going to get in trouble. They're going to leave, and I'm not strong. Because see, the slaves were getting strong. The Israelite slaves were getting strong out there working. So I always wondered, early on, I thought, why would God put them out in the wilderness for 40 years? Because he was teaching them. And he was also separating the ones who were loyal and the ones who were not in the tribe, you know. And so this whole game, if you want to call it a game, is to separate the sheep and the goats, you know. God would have all men to be saved and come to knowledge of the truth, but one of the reasons he shakes things up, because if you stay in one place too long or in one mindset too long, the devil, God wants you to grow. You have to grow. You have to grow. You have to grow. You're being changed into the image of Jesus through the sanctification process. Let's say you go to a church and you sit into that church for 20 years. You're being brainwashed by that preacher. And you're going to think like the preacher. And if it's a legalistic preacher, you're going to have a sour face. You're going to be miserable. And you're going to look at life and say, oh no, it's the end of the world. It's bad. No, it ain't. Jesus still rules. You still got the power. You still got the Holy Spirit. You're being transformed day by day if you want it. Even if you don't want it, he that began a good work and will finish it. So as time goes on, if you stay in one situation too long, you're going to have some kind of narcissist come in and try to hoodoo you because they've studied you for so long. But if you're always moving and changing and doing this and growing and going here and doing this, they can't hoodoo you because you're a moving target. They got to get you stuck to hoodoo you. Stagnated. It's kind of like the river. The river's flowing, right? If it's stagnated, you can't drink it. If you're flowing, it's hard to catch. It's hard to catch you. If it's just sitting there steady, you can put your hand and scoop up some water. But if it's flowing, it's hard to scoop it up. You have to put a bucket down there and put the bucket in the river and then grab it from the bucket. New visions, new life, new dreams, always growing, always having a goal and a mission and a destiny to rise up to. Change your script, change your routine, change churches if you're in a church if you need to. Change jobs. Change cities. Change it all. Get a new perspective. A lot of people get stuck on a job. It's a good job. Got everything they need, but they get stuck in that stagnated position. They never think outside the box, you know. Today I'm doing a change up. I'm gonna go by the house and just get a bird's eye view of what I need to do over there. If you go back in time and you look at the older people when you were young, it's like they just got to a point where they just went around their circuit and they had nothing positive, nothing. Now there's a balance between wearing yourself out. You have to have the routine. That's what the body wants. But at the same time, you can't just be like negative. You could start a business. You could do anything, whatever you want to do. I think I know what I'm going to do. Go buy me a bike rack. And that way my bicycle is always with me. If I want to exercise at lunch, I can. Riding a bike will change your life. Magnesium will change your life. Different kinds of magnesium. Reading Revelation will change your life. I started reading Revelation and the blessings just started flowing. The next day. It's ridiculous. It's insane. The light came on. The sun shining. A lot of times the blessings are internal, right? It's not even external. The internal gets blessed and the external has to show up, right? I think that would be a good job right there. That would be a good job right there. Not even have to be a policeman, just have to be an assistant. I'm in the process of turning my living room into a weight room. A little bit at a time. Here a little, there a little, you know. I remember when I was in college, we lifted weights 3 times a week, jogged and all that. And you didn't know how to eat back then, but you felt good irregardless. But I feel better now than I did when I was 18 because I know what I need to eat and not eat. And fasting is the secret too. Snacks with sugar, nah, that's not my world. That is not my world. It used to be, not anymore. What I find in the 3D is most people never talk about anything spiritual with you. And to me, that's all there is. Everything is spiritual. Nothing is natural. Everything is spiritual. It appears in the natural, and you can use the natural for health and benefit. You should use everything for your health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your benefit, or whatever. But nothing in the natural is really just natural. It's all spiritual. And so when you shift your thinking like that, you can't have just a normal conversation. You're wanting to have a deeper conversation with people. But most people will never do that. They will never get there. It'll never happen. There's this one transmission company right around the corner here. Those people just sit in that office all day. He's got his own business. He's good at what he does. He makes a lot of money. But he's stuck in that little office instead of walking around the block and get some exercise. Both those guys in that office are overweight. And you don't have to be. You can be healthy. I really believe with all my heart, if Moses lived 120 years and his natural force was not abated, then especially with technology the way it is now, we can do the same. 120 years and still be strong. I really believe that. I really believe that. But sitting there watching TV, vegging out watching TV, or whatever the word is, eating, watching TV, eating sugar, it ain't gonna help you. It ain't gonna help you for longevity. What's going on? Okay. Same old. Let me know when you're ready to do some work. Okay. What's the recovery time? 6 months or something? I'm working on it now. I mean, there's always little stuff to do around here, like trim those, pull those weeds down, all of, you know. Let me know.